Monday, October 17th, 2016, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So I'd like to talk about the term never a borrower or lender be, and I think that term has come kind of gone off the public consciousness in the last 20-25 years, mainly because we're told that we need to borrow in order to, start a business, or, if you get married, you need to borrow to buy a house, you need to borrow to buy a car, and all that. Credit is the name of the game. I even remember Hank Paulson, when he was in Congress, I think, trying to convince Congress to pass, the $700 billion bailout, TARP, back in '08. And he said, we need the American people to have access to credit. We need, to keep the banks open so they can give the American people credit. What about, people in general actually working, earning their money, saving it, and then maybe starting a business? Or maybe, waiting and saving to pay for that holiday or for the car. And the reason I'm talking about that is because there's a few headlines today, a few interesting stories that have come out. And the first one, Zero Hedge broke it earlier today, and it says RT's bank accounts blocked in the UK. Russia Foreign Ministry slams RBS's decision. So RT is Russia Today, or now they call it RT, and they do have the Max Kaiser program, which is aired from the UK. I'm not sure how big their operation is in the UK. So NatWest, which is a bank owned by RBS, and RBS was the biggest bank failure we had in '08. The government still owns 70% of it. They've blocked RT's bank account, for just saying, that's it, you're blocked. And it's interesting because 2 days ago, I think it was on Saturday, the Kaiser Report had a show, and it was called Stunned Commoners. And they had two guys there. One of them was a Scottish guy who lost his hotel because RBS basically screwed him over. So in this report on Saturday, Max Kaiser and Stacey Herbert and their guests, who are British, they're like exposing RBS and parts of RBS for basically ripping off about 16,000 small and medium-sized businesses. Basically what they've been doing is, like, allegedly, is that they've been lending money to businesses, and then another department of the bank trying to find ways to make that business fail so that they can buy the assets on the cheap and then go on to sell it off. And this has been in the news for ages, but just recently now, according to this video, which I'll put up in the card, from the Kaiser Report, just recently now, BuzzFeed, which is a YouTube channel or blog or vlog, they've come out with actual proof of intent by RBS. So, and RBS and NatWest are still 70% owned by the UK government. So I'm not surprised that, well, I am kind of surprised because we're supposed to have no censorship in the UK. So basically by cutting off RT's bank account with NatWest or RBS, they're basically stopping them from doing business. And I wonder if RT is going to be able to open another bank account in the UK. That's to be seen. So, and the other interesting thing I came up with, and it's to do with banks as well, but this is the Federal Reserve Bank, which is supposed to be an independent, non-political central bank of the U.S. And It's actually from one of the Wikileaks leaks, Wikileaks leaks, and it was caught by this guy I listened to on YouTube, Lift the Veil. It's a good YouTube channel. I recommend it. And I'll put the card up there about this leak. And basically, he's been reading through the WikiLeaks John Podesta emails, and he found that there was an email between John Podesta and someone he works with about, and the title of the subject was just Tarullo, Tarullo, and Tarullo, Daniel Tarullo, he's on the board of the Federal Reserve. He's in Washington. He's not president of the regional banks, but he's on the board of governors of the Federal Reserve since 2009. And in that email, it says, Tarullo wants to send you some information, but needs to be done outside the system, email system. So basically exposing the fact that a governor, a person on the board of governors of the Federal Reserve is actually in contact with the Hillary Clinton, John Podesta, campaign for president, and the Federal Reserve is supposed to be independent. So, yes, that's not surprising to me, but it's just that it's proof that it's coming out. I'm sure the mainstream media is not going to cover this, but going back to my original statement, never a lender or borrower be, I think that's good advice. And there's another person that's related that I've read in the past, Henry Ford, a founder of Ford Motor Company. I think a lot of his initial business activity, I remember reading that he tried to avoid borrowing money as much as possible. Like his operation was financed by equity, like people that he knew buying into the company. But I think he avoided loans like a plague, and it was self-financed, the operations of Ford Motor Company in the beginning. I don't know what they're doing now. And the other interesting thing he says is one of his quotes from Brainy Quotes, Henry Ford, and I quote, it says, "It is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning." I'm sure quite a few of you have heard that quote. So is the Trump, movement that we're seeing in the States, is it the people waking up to the, 1% and the banking, monopoly of the Federal Reserve, who's supposed to be independent, but actually seems to be in bed with the Hillary Clinton campaign? I don't know, but one thing I know for sure, personally, you need to try to be your own central bank, your own bank. And that means holding gold and silver, physical gold and silver, as much as you can. If you can, do it dollar cost averaging. Don't just buy it when it goes up, and it's like really frothy. Try to buy a little bit every month, stack it. And try to have, I have a bank account. You need a bank account these days to pay bills, but I try to keep as little as possible in that bank account, and I try not to do any other business with banks, and try to do, when I started my business a few years ago, I didn't have to borrow the money, but I still have to open a business account with a bank here in the UK. And I can tell you, they rip you off. Even if you haven't borrowed the money, they just have so many charges, and you're paying like dozens of charges just to run a business. And it was a pawnbroking business. So every time I had to go and get cash, they used to charge me to take out my own cash. So yeah, What's my conclusion about this? That people are losing faith and confidence in the banking system. Well, it's not going to help the economy run as it has for the past 25 and 30 years, because it's been based on credit, finance. The banks have been very involved. But now, I'm not saying it's the end of the world. It's just going to be different. People should be adapting to this. That's what I take from it, that banks are going to become less and less important. The economy is not going to do as well, unfortunately, unless someone comes in, and I'm not saying it's Trump or Hillary, well, not Hillary, that's for sure. We need, the banks to be, and bankers to be punished for crimes and fraud, just like everyone else. Because if you can't deal, why would you want to deal with someone that you know is criminal? You want to stay away from him or from that person. You just try to not do business with him, and that's what's happening now. And it's amazing that the mainstream media, politicians, they're so much into this system that they don't realize that they're the problem, that they've allowed this to happen. So until there is banking reform, until the culprits are punished, until something's done about it, I don't see any improvement in economic activity in the West. So that's it for now. So the markets are going to be opening soon in the States. I made an update earlier today. So where are we now? Gold is $12.56, so it's doing fairly well, up $4. The Dow is recovered, is only down 5 now at 18,134. It got down to 18,070. Silver is up 3 cents, 17.45. And that's about it for now. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. And if you like to donate, if you think I add value, please, there's some links below in the description. Take care. Bye.